Welcome to How to Build Unstoppable Discipline, written and published by ReadFlow Audiobook. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you have the potential to become. It is the foundation of success, the hidden driver behind every great achievement, and the quiet force that separates dreamers from doers. Talent may open doors, luck may create opportunities, but without discipline, those doors close quickly and opportunities fade away. This audiobook is not about quick motivation that fades in a few hours. It is about building something permanent within you, a system of habits, standards, and choices that shape your future. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of procrastination, from the weight of regret, and from the cycle of starting and stopping without ever finishing. Over the course of these chapters, you will discover how to develop discipline in a way that feels natural and powerful. You will learn how to silence excuses, push through resistance, and create daily routines that become the bedrock of your progress. You will understand why self-control is not about willpower alone, but about designing your environment, mastering your thoughts, and committing to standards that demand the best from you. This journey is not meant to be easy. In fact, it should challenge you, because discipline only grows in the presence of resistance. But as you move forward, you will begin to feel a shift, an inner strength awakening, a momentum building, and a sense of power in knowing you can rely on yourself to do what must be done, even when it's hard. By the end of this audiobook, you won't just think differently, you will live differently. You will carry yourself with confidence, act with clarity, and show the world what happens when a person commits fully to their own growth. So take a deep breath, set aside distractions, and prepare yourself. This is not just another audiobook you listen to and forget. This is a roadmap to building the kind of discipline that never breaks, never quits, and never backs down. Let's begin the journey of building unstoppable discipline. Chapter 1. The Foundation of Discipline. Owning your why. Discipline is not built on willpower alone. Willpower is fragile. It fades when you're tired, when you're stressed, when temptation seems stronger than your goals. But discipline, real discipline, is built on something deeper. It is built on clarity, structure, and a powerful sense of why. Before we talk about habits, routines, or strategies, we must start with the foundation, your reason. Without a strong why, no method will stick. Think of your why as the anchor that holds you steady in the storms of distraction, temptation, and doubt. 1. Why? Most people fail at discipline. Most people try to be disciplined by forcing themselves to just do it. They rely on bursts of motivation or guilt to get started. But when life gets tough, their resolve cracks. They skip the gym. They put off the project. They break the promise to themselves, and slowly they start to lose trust in their own word. The truth is simple. If you don't know why you are doing something, discipline will always feel like a burden instead of a choice. And anything that feels like a burden will eventually be dropped. The power of defining your why. Here's the secret. Discipline becomes easier when it is fueled by a vision bigger than the discomfort. If you want to wake up early, the reason cannot simply be because I should. It has to be tied to something that lights you up. Building a business, protecting your health, creating freedom for your family, or becoming the kind of person you respect. When your why is powerful, discipline transforms from a battle into an act of alignment. Every action, no matter how small, becomes a step toward the life you truly want. Right at the top, my discipline contract. Below it, answer these 3 questions honestly and clearly. What do I want to achieve? Be specific. Don't just say get fit. Say run a 10K without stopping, or lose 15 pounds by the end of the year. Why does this matter to me? Dig deep. Ask why again and again, until you uncover the emotional core. For example, I want to be fit because I want energy for my kids, because I want to be the kind of parent they look up to. What am I willing to give up to get it? Every discipline requires a trade-off. Are you willing to give up late-night scrolling to wake up early? Are you willing to trade junk food for better energy? Identify it clearly. When you finish, sign it. This is your contract with yourself. Discipline starts here, with clarity and commitment in writing. 4. Discipline as identity. Here's another truth. The most disciplined people don't see discipline as something they do, they see it as something they are. A disciplined person doesn't think, should I go to the gym? They think, I'm the kind of person who trains no matter what. Identity creates consistency. If you identify as someone who always follows through, then following through is automatic. If you see yourself as someone who tries to be disciplined, then inconsistency will feel normal. So the question is, who are you becoming? Every time you keep your word to yourself, you cast a vote for being a disciplined person. Every time you break it, you cast a vote for being inconsistent. Discipline is built one vote at a time. The small wins principle. Most people sabotage discipline by going too big, too fast. They try to change their entire life overnight. And when they inevitably fall short, they quit. True discipline is built through small wins that stack up over time. If your goal is to wake up at 5 a.m., don't start tomorrow by shocking your system. Start by setting your alarm 15 minutes earlier than usual. Win that small battle, then push further. Each small victory builds momentum, and momentum builds identity. Remember this: discipline is not about perfection, it's about consistency. Missing once is not failure. Quitting is failure. 6. Daily anchor routine. To lock in your discipline, create what I call a daily anchor routine. A small set of non-negotiable actions you do every single day, no matter what. Example: spend 10 minutes reading or journaling. Move your body for at least 15 minutes. Plan your top 3 tasks for the day. These anchors may seem small, but they send a message to your brain. I am in control. I keep promises to myself. I do hard things. Key takeaway: discipline is not punishment. It is the most powerful form of self-respect. It starts not with rules or routines, but with clarity, knowing why you want what you want, and who you're becoming in the process. Your why is your fuel, your identity is your foundation, and your small daily wins are the building blocks of unstoppable discipline. Chapter 2: Mastering your environment. Shaping the battlefield of discipline. Discipline doesn't happen in isolation. No matter how strong your willpower, your environment plays a decisive role in whether you rise to your highest standards or fall back into old patterns. Think of your environment as the battlefield where discipline is either won or lost. If your surroundings constantly tempt you, distract you, and pull you away from your vision, you will always feel like you're swimming against the current. But here's the empowering truth: you have the power to design your environment so that discipline becomes natural, almost automatic. When you align your surroundings with your goals, you remove friction and create a flow where success feels inevitable. Willpower is overrated. Most people rely too much on sheer willpower to stay disciplined. They say, I just need to try harder, or I'll resist temptation next time. But research and real life show us that willpower is limited. It's like a battery that drains throughout the day. By nighttime, that battery is almost empty, which is why you might find yourself eating junk food, skipping workouts, or scrolling endlessly when you should be sleeping. Instead of leaning on willpower alone, the smarter move is to make willpower less necessary. How? By designing an environment where the right choice is the easy choice and the wrong choice is harder to access. The easier it is to start, the more likely you'll follow through. Want to exercise more? Lay out your workout clothes the night before, place your shoes by the door, or join a gym that's on your daily route. Want to read daily? Keep a book on your desk, your nightstand, or even in your bag. Make it the first thing you see when you sit down. Want to eat healthier? Wash and cut up fruits and vegetables in advance, so they're ready to grab when you're hungry. Every second you shave off the setup process makes a habit more likely to happen. The easier it feels, the more consistent you'll become. Make the unhealthy or unproductive choice harder to reach, and you'll naturally do it less. Want to watch less TV? Unplug it after each use, or put the remote in a drawer. Want to cut down on social media? Log out after each session, or delete apps from your home screen. Want to stop late-night snacking? Keep junk food out of the house, or place it in a hard-to-reach spot. not right in front of you. The more barriers you add, the less likely you are to indulge. It's not about fighting temptation, it's about removing it from your immediate reach. The power of visual cues. Use this principle to your advantage. Place visual reminders of your goals where you can see them daily. A vision board, a sticky note on your mirror, or a motivational quote on your desk can act as a constant cue to stay aligned. Associate spaces with specific behavior. For example, if you designate a corner of your home for reading or journaling, your brain begins to connect that location with that habit. Your environment trains your brain. Shape it intentionally, and it will reinforce the discipline you're building. Audit your circle. If you're trying to build discipline while surrounding yourself with people who are inconsistent, negative, or unmotivated, it's like running a marathon with a heavy backpack. Ask yourself, do they encourage my growth or enable my excuses? Even spending time with them digitally through podcasts, books, or communities can rewire your standards. That's why athletes push harder when competing, or why deadlines make us more productive. You can create accountability in your own life by partnering with a friend who shares your goals, hiring a coach or mentor, publicly declaring your commitment, using habit tracking apps that track streaks and progress. Key takeaway of Chapter 2. Discipline thrives in the right environment and suffocates in the wrong one. Don't fight endless battles with willpower. Instead, master your environment so that discipline becomes automatic. Remove friction from good habits, add friction to bad ones. Fill your surroundings with cues that inspire action, and align yourself with people who raise your standards. When you shape your environment, you shape your behavior, and when you shape your behavior, you shape your destiny. Chapter 3. The Power of Routines. Building discipline into your daily life. If discipline is the foundation of success, then routines are the bricks and mortar that build it into something lasting. Without structure, discipline often becomes inconsistent. Strong one day, weak the next, depending on moods, circumstances, or willpower. But when you harness the power of routines, you no longer rely on feeling motivated. You create systems that carry you forward, no matter what. This chapter is about taking discipline from an abstract idea to a daily reality. By the end, you'll see how to build a life where discipline isn't just a concept. It's the air you breathe, woven into your every action. Why routines matter. Think about the most successful athletes, leaders, or creators in the world. What sets them apart? Yes, they have talent, vision, and determination. But above all, they have systems. They live by rituals that ensure progress even on their worst days. An athlete doesn't wait until they feel like training. They train because it's built into their schedule. A writer doesn't hope for inspiration. They sit at the desk at a set time every day, and the habit produces the inspiration. A disciplined leader doesn't leave their energy to chance. They design morning and evening routines that set the tone for their success. Routines free you from decision fatigue. Instead of constantly deciding, should I do this, you simply follow the script you've designed. Morning routines. Setting the tone for the day. Your morning is the launchpad of your discipline. If you win your morning, you dramatically increase your chances of winning the day. A powerful morning routine does three things: energizes your body, focuses your mind, and aligns your intentions. Reflection, journaling, gratitude, or meditation to clear mental clutter. Vision, reviewing goals or affirmations to set direction. The key isn't copying someone else's routine. It's crafting one that energizes you and aligns with your goals. Even a 20-minute sequence can transform your focus and discipline for the day ahead. Evening routines. Closing the day with intention. Just as your morning sets the tone, your evening routine closes the loop. It's not about doing more. It's about winding down intentionally, so that tomorrow starts strong. An effective evening routine includes preparation, laying out clothes, planning tasks, or tidying your space to reduce friction the next morning. Rest, creating a sleep-friendly environment, dark, cool, and quiet to recharge fully. This rhythm ensures discipline isn't left to chance but carried through in cycles of preparation and renewal. Too many people quit because they miss a day or break a streak. Discipline isn't about perfection, It's about persistence. If you can stick to your routine 80% of the time, you'll see massive transformation. What matters most is that you keep coming back again and again until it becomes second nature. 5. Rituals as anchors of discipline. Beyond routines, rituals add meaning to your actions. A ritual is a habit performed with intention and purpose. For example, saying a mantra before you work, lighting a candle before journaling, listening to the same playlist before exercising. Rituals train your mind to associate certain actions with discipline. They act as psychological triggers that pull you into the right state, no matter how you feel. Thanks. Key takeaway of Chapter 3. Discipline thrives not in random bursts of willpower, but in structured systems. Your routines are the operating system of your life. They ensure that even when motivation is low, progress continues. Build mornings that energize you, evenings that restore you, and rituals that anchor your discipline. Discipline isn't something you occasionally practice. It becomes who you are when it's woven into the rhythm of your day. Chapter 4. Mastering the mental game. Rewiring your inner psychology for discipline. Discipline begins in the mind long before it shows up in your actions. You can create the most powerful routines, set crystal clear goals, and design the perfect environment. But if your inner dialogue is weak, self-sabotaging, or filled with excuses, you'll struggle to stay consistent. This chapter is about mastering the mental game of discipline, rewiring the way you think, speak to yourself, and interpret challenges, because once you control your inner psychology, your outer actions naturally align. 1. The voice in your head. Friend or enemy. Every person carries an inner voice. Sometimes it's encouraging. You've got this, keep going. Other times it's destructive. Why bother? You'll never make it. Discipline depends on how you manage this voice. Here's the truth. You don't silence it. You train it. When the negative voice says you can't, you replace it with I'll figure it out. When the lazy voice says rest, skip it today, you counter with do 5 minutes. Progress, not perfection. When the doubtful voice whispers you're not good enough, you declare, I'm improving every day. This is mental discipline, catching the destructive thought before it drives your behavior, and on this replacing it with a thought that fuels progress. Self-talk as a weapon of discipline. Words are not just descriptions, they are commands to your subconscious. Every time you say, I'm bad at sticking with things, your mind obeys. Every time you say, I'm becoming a disciplined person, your mind aligns with that identity. To master discipline, create a language that builds you. Replace I have to with I choose to. Discipline becomes empowering, not burdensome. Replace I can't with I will find a way. Obstacles shift from dead ends to puzzle. Replace I'll try with I will. Certainty sharpens your commitment. Every word matters. Over time, the identity you repeat becomes the identity you embody. People act in alignment with who they believe they are. If you tell yourself, I'm someone who struggles with self-control, you'll act accordingly. If you tell yourself, I am a disciplined, focused, and consistent person, your brain seeks evidence to make that true. Shift your identity from someone trying to be disciplined to a disciplined person. This one change reshapes the choices you make. 4. Reframing obstacles. From roadblocks to fuel. One of the most important mental shifts for discipline is how you interpret difficulty. Most people see obstacles as signs to stop. Disciplined people see them as proof of growth. Missed a workout? Don't say, I failed. Say, this is feedback. Next time I'll prepare better. Faced resistance at work? Don't say, I can't do this. Say, this is where discipline sharpens me. Feel tired and unmotivated? Don't say, I'll wait until tomorrow. Say, doing it now is what builds my resilience. Obstacles aren't enemies. They're the training ground of discipline. Mental models of the disciplined mind. To master your psychology, adopt these mental models. The 1% rule. Focus on getting just 1% better each day. Small wins compound into unstoppable discipline. The rule of 2 choices. At every decision point, you always have 2 paths. One strengthens discipline, one weakens it. Choose consciously. The future self principle. Act today as if your future self is watching. Ask, will this action make them proud? These frameworks simplify choices and strengthen consistency. 6. The emotional side of discipline. We often think discipline is purely logical, but emotions play a huge role. Stress, boredom, frustration. These can all sabotage discipline if not managed. Instead of letting emotions control you, use discipline to guide emotions. When stressed, channel it into action. Work out, journal, or breathe. When bored, see it as an opportunity to practice focus instead of seeking distraction. When frustrated, remember, frustration is a signal you're pushing your limits. Growth is near. The disciplined mind doesn't avoid emotion, it directs it. By mastering your self-talk, reshaping your identity, reframing obstacles, and adopting powerful mental models, you create a mind that fuels discipline instead of fighting it. When your mind becomes disciplined, your actions naturally follow. Chapter 5: Designing an environment that demands discipline. While discipline begins in the mind, it is reinforced or destroyed by the environment around you. You can have the strongest willpower in the world, but if you're constantly surrounded by temptations, distractions, or people who pull you down, discipline becomes a daily uphill battle. This chapter is about environmental design, shaping your surroundings so discipline becomes easier, automatic, and almost inevitable. Instead of relying on willpower alone, you'll create conditions that support consistency and eliminate friction. The law of least resistance. Human behavior naturally follows the path of least resistance. If it's easy to grab junk food, you will. If your phone is nearby, you'll check it. If the TV remote is right there, you'll pick it up. The disciplined person understands this truth and designs their environment accordingly. Make bad habits harder to do. If you want to stop eating unhealthy snacks, don't keep them in the house. If you want to scroll less, place your phone in another room while you work. Make good habits easier to do. If you want to work out, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you want to read, keep a book on your desk or bedside table. Discipline is not just about saying no, it's about making the right choice the default option. Control your space, control your focus. Your environment either sharpens your focus or scatters it. A cluttered space creates a cluttered mind. A clean, organized space signals your brain, this is a place for action, not distraction. Actionable steps. Keep your workspace minimal, only the essentials for the task at hand. Separate environments for different activities, a place for work, a place for rest, a place for training. Don't twitch them. Use cues in your environment that trigger discipline. For example, keeping a water bottle on your desk reminds you to stay hydrated. Your space becomes a silent partner in your discipline. If you walk past the gym, you think about exercise. To master discipline, engineer your environment with cues that pull you toward action. Schedule reminders in your calendar for the behaviors you want to reinforce. You don't need more willpower. You need less noise. Delete apps that waste your time. Block websites that derail your focus. Turn off non-essential notifications. Replace entertainment zones with growth zones. Keep books, journals, or tools for skill building in easy reach. The fewer distractions you allow in your space, the easier it is to stay consistent. Surround yourself with people who demand more from you. Your environment isn't just physical, it's social. The people you spend time with either pull you forward or hold you back. Spend time with people who inspire discipline, mentors, driven friends, communities of achievers. Limit time with those who drain your energy or normalize laziness. Adopt the principle, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with the right people. Your standards rise to the level of your environment. Make sure your circle lifts you, not lowers you. 6. Rituals and routines. Locking discipline into place. The most disciplined people don't make constant decisions. They build routines so decisions are already made. Their environment signals action, and their body follows. A morning routine sets the tone for discipline all day. A consistent workspace anchors your mind into focus. Evening rituals prepare your body and mind for rest, ensuring energy for tomorrow. Rituals create structure. Structure eliminates chaos. Chaos kills discipline. The compound effect of a disciplined environment. One small change in your environment, like moving your phone away while you sleep, can lead to profound long-term impact. Why? Because you're not just changing one habit, you're changing the conditions under which all habits are formed. When your environment makes good choices easy and bad choices difficult, you stop fighting against yourself. Discipline becomes less about struggle and more about flow. Key takeaway of Chapter 5. Discipline is not built on willpower alone. It's sustained by an environment that supports your goals. By controlling your space, engineering cues, minimizing distractions, and surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, you create conditions where discipline feels natural. Your environment is either your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. Choose wisely. Chapter 6. Destroying procrastination before it destroys you. If discipline is the engine of success, procrastination is the silent brake that slows it down and often stops it completely. You know the feeling. You have something important to do, but you keep putting it off. You scroll, you delay, you overthink. Hours turn into days, and days turn into regret. The truth is this: procrastination is not laziness, it's avoidance. It's the avoidance of discomfort, the fear of failure, or the illusion that you'll feel more ready tomorrow. But here's the brutal reality: you will never feel fully ready. Discipline is about acting before you feel ready, moving despite discomfort, and learning through action. This chapter will show you how to break procrastination once and for all, not by fighting harder, but by dismantling the excuses and replacing hesitation with momentum. The psychology behind procrastination. To destroy procrastination, you must first understand it. People procrastinate for 3 core reasons: rot, fear of failure, of rejection, or of not being good enough; perfectionism, waiting for the perfect time, plan, or conditions; overwhelm, when the task feels too big or too unclear. Procrastination is your brain's attempt to protect you, but in protecting you from discomfort, it also protects you from growth. The disciplined individual sees procrastination not as a problem of laziness, but as a signal, a sign that fear, perfectionism, or overwhelm is in control, and it's time to take back the steering wheel. 2. The 5-minute rule, the antidote to hesitation. When a task feels overwhelming, don't commit to finishing it. Commit to starting it for just 5 minutes. Want to write? Commit to writing 1 sentence. Need to work out? Commit to doing 1 push-up. Commit to clearing 1 corner. What happens? Once you start, momentum takes over. Starting destroys resistance. The 5-minute rule turns "I'll do it later" into "I've already begun." 3. Break it down. Break the resistance. A major reason procrastination thrives is because the task feels massive. The brain sees a mountain and decides it's easier not to climb. The solution: break mountains into pebbles. Instead of "I need to get in shape," say "I will go for a 15-minute walk today." Instead of "I need to write a book," say "I will write 200 words before bed." Instead of "I need to organize my life," say "I will clear out 1 drawer." Each small win builds momentum. Each pebble moved gets you closer to the summit. 4. The power of deadlines and public commitment. Procrastination thrives in open-ended timelines. If you tell yourself "I'll do it someday," it will never happen. Disciplined people use deadlines to create urgency. Even better, they make those deadlines public. Tell a friend you'll send them your work by Friday. Announce a launch date publicly. Bet money that you'll complete the task, or lose it if you don't. Accountability kills procrastination because the cost of inaction becomes higher than the discomfort of action. Or replace perfectionism with progress. Perfectionism is procrastination dressed in a suit. It disguises itself as high standards, but in reality, it's just fear of judgment. Understand this: perfect will never come. Every masterpiece you admire, books, businesses, works of art, started imperfect. Progress always precedes perfection. Train yourself to think: done is better than perfect. Finished is better than flawless. Action beats intention. Create a start ritual for momentum. Procrastination thrives in hesitation. The longer you think, the more resistance builds. Develop a ritual that signals it's time to start. A specific playlist that triggers work mode. A cup of coffee and immediate focus on 1 task. Opening your journal before diving into deep work. Condition your brain. When the ritual happens, action follows. No negotiation, no delay. Most people wait until they feel motivated. But motivation doesn't come before action, it comes after. You don't feel like working out until you've started moving. You don't feel like writing until you've typed the first sentence. You don't feel productive until you've completed a small win. Stop waiting for motivation. Move first, and let your emotions catch up. Or doll. When procrastination tempts you, shift your focus from short-term comfort to long-term cost. Ask yourself, what happens if I keep delaying this? What opportunities am I losing every day I don't act? Who could I be 1 year from now if I started today? The pain of inaction often outweighs the discomfort of action when you actually stop to see it clearly. Key takeaway of Chapter 6. Procrastination isn't a lack of discipline, it's a lack of momentum. By starting small, breaking down tasks, setting deadlines, replacing perfectionism with progress, and building rituals that spark action, you can dismantle procrastination's grip. Remember this truth: you don't need to feel ready, you need to start. The act of starting creates the readiness you've been waiting for. Chapter 7. Mastering Self-Control and Emotional Discipline. Discipline is not just about what you do with your time, it's about what you do with your impulses. It's about mastering the inner battles no one sees. The urge to quit, the craving for comfort, the anger that clouds judgment, the temptations that distract you. Think of discipline as a fortress. Without emotional control, your walls have cracks. No matter how strong your habits are, if your emotions run unchecked, they'll eventually breach the walls and destroy the foundation. This chapter is about building the inner discipline, the emotional armor that allows you to stay calm, steady, and focused even when life throws chaos your way. They bottle up anger, force down fear, and pretend to be unshaken. But suppression is dangerous. It's like putting a lid on a boiling pot. Eventually, it explodes. True self-control is not pretending emotions don't exist. It's recognizing them, naming them, and directing them. Anger can become fuel for action. Fear can become awareness and caution. Excitement can become motivation. Disciplined people don't fight emotions. They redirect them toward purpose. A careless word in anger, a rushed decision in fear, an impulsive action in temptation. The most powerful tool for emotional discipline is the pause. When an emotion surges, pause, breathe, step back, ask, what is the best response here? Not just the fastest. The pause creates space between impulse and action, and in that space, discipline lives. Emotional discipline means identifying those triggers and training yourself to respond differently. If stress makes you eat junk food, replace it with a stress ritual, a walk, deep breaths, or journaling. If criticism makes you defensive, pause and ask, is there truth I can learn from here? If boredom makes you waste time online, create a default productive activity like reading, stretching, or writing. Triggers don't control you, your response does. Discipline begins where triggers end. 4. Building the muscle of delayed gratification. The strongest test of emotional control is delayed gratification. Resisting what you want now for what you want most. Research shows that those who master delayed gratification, choosing the long-term reward over the short-term craving, achieve more wealth, health, and happiness. Train this daily. Skip the sugary snack and choose real food. Save money instead of spending impulsively. Work on your goal before watching TV. Each small victory strengthens the muscle of discipline. 5. Reframing failure and setbacks. One of the biggest emotional battles is disappointment. Failure tempts people to quit, to feel worthless, to believe it's not worth trying again. But disciplined individuals see failure differently. They reframe it as data, not defeat, a lesson, not a dead end. Ask yourself after every setback, what can I learn here? What will I do differently next time? How does this bring me closer to the result? Emotional discipline means you don't let failure control your identity. You extract wisdom and move forward. 6. The discipline of patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, patience is a superpower. Success takes time. Growth takes time. Discipline means trusting the process without rushing it. Think of bamboo. It spends years growing roots underground before breaking the surface, but once it does, it shoots up rapidly. Your discipline works the same way. When progress feels slow, remind yourself, I am building roots. My time will come. 7. Tools for building emotional discipline. Practical ways to strengthen your emotional control daily. Breathing exercises. Calm the nervous system in moments of stress. Journaling. Get emotions out of your head and onto paper where you can see them clearly. Meditation or mindfulness. Train your brain to observe emotions without being controlled by them. Each practice reinforces the ability to pause, redirect, and act with intention. They don't get overconfident when they win or devastated when they lose. They remain steady, calm, neutral. Neutrality doesn't mean lack of passion. It means not letting passion blind you. It means staying focused on the mission, no matter the highs or lows. Key takeaway of Chapter 7. Discipline is not only about habits and routines, it's about mastering the inner storms. When you can control your impulses, delay gratification, pause before reacting, and redirect emotions toward purpose, you become unstoppable. Remember, your emotions are powerful servants, but terrible masters. Discipline means putting yourself back in charge. Chapter 8. The power of consistency. If discipline is the engine of transformation, then consistency is the fuel that keeps it running. You can have the best plan in the world, the strongest motivation, and the most powerful tools, but without consistency, it all collapses. The truth is simple. Success doesn't come from what you do once, it comes from what you do daily. This chapter is about mastering the quiet, often unglamorous, force of consistency, the kind of persistence that compounds into unstoppable results. Why consistency beats intensity. Many people start strong but burn out quickly. They commit to huge goals, give it everything for a week, then crash. Consistency doesn't demand intensity, it demands persistence. Reading 10 pages a day beats reading 100 pages once a month. Saving a small amount every week beats saving big one time and stopping. Exercising regularly, even if it's short, beats one extreme workout that leaves you injured. Discipline means choosing steady progress over bursts of effort. 2. The compound effect. Every small, consistent action compounds over time. Just as money invested grows with interest, so do your habits and efforts. Think about it. If you write 500 words a day, you'll have a book in 6 months. If you practice a skill 30 minutes a day, you'll master it in a year. If you save a little daily, you'll build wealth without even noticing. Consistency works silently, invisibly, until one day the results become undeniable. Systems over motivation. Relying on motivation is a trap. It rises and falls like the weather. Consistency comes from systems, not feelings. Systems are the structures you put in place that make your habits automatic. Setting out workout clothes the night before, blocking distractions with website blockers, scheduling work sessions at the same time daily. When you have systems, you don't need to feel like it, you just follow the structure. Instead of saying, "I want to exercise," you say, "I am someone who trains daily." When your habits align with your identity, they no longer feel forced. They become natural expressions of who you are. Ask yourself, who do I need to become for this habit to be consistent? Do you want to read more? Become a reader. Do you want to write daily? Become a writer. Do you want to save money? Become someone who values financial discipline. Handling boredom. Here's a secret about consistency. It's not broken by difficulty, it's broken by boredom. The best performers aren't the ones who avoid boredom. They are the ones who stick to the process even when it feels repetitive. When the routine feels dull, remind yourself, this is the price of greatness. Discipline is not about excitement, it's about commitment. 6. The power of tracking progress. What gets measured gets improved. Tracking your consistency keeps you motivated and accountable. Use a journal or app to mark your daily habits. Celebrate streaks, no matter how small. Review progress weekly to remind yourself of growth. Even small check marks build momentum. They whisper, "I'm showing up. I'm still on track." The rule of non-negotiables. Create a list of non-negotiable habits, the things you do every single day, no matter what. Eat, drink water, move your body, work on your goal for 30 minutes. Read something that grows your mind. Even on your busiest days, your non-negotiables keep you consistent. They become the backbone of your discipline. Instead of guilt, apply course correction. I stumbled today, but I'm back tomorrow. One missed day doesn't destroy progress. Quitting does. Consistency is about resilience, not flawlessness. Key takeaway of Chapter 8. Consistency is the silent power that transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary results. It's about choosing persistence over perfection, systems over motivation, and identity over fleeting mood. Remember this: you don't have to be extreme, you just have to be consistent. Chapter 9. Accountability and environment. The hidden forces of discipline. Discipline is often seen as an individual battle, something you fight within yourself. But the truth is, your environment and accountability systems can make disciplines or nearly impossible. In this chapter, we'll uncover how the people you surround yourself with, the spaces you live and work in, and the accountability structures you build will determine whether your discipline thrives or dies. The power of environment. Your environment silently shapes your behavior more than willpower ever can. If your home is filled with junk food, discipline in eating becomes a struggle. If your desk is cluttered, your focus gets scattered. If your phone is loaded with endless distractions, your productivity collapses. The disciplined don't just rely on self-control, they design their environment to make success the default option. Ask yourself, does my environment support the person I want to become? If not, it's time for a redesign. Remove friction for good habits. The easier a habit is, the more likely it will stick. The harder a bad habit is, the less likely it will survive. Place your running shoes by your bed so exercising in the morning is effortless. Keep healthy snacks visible and junk food hidden, or better yet, not purchased at all. Log out of social media apps so you add friction before wasting time. Discipline thrives when you remove friction for good behaviors and add friction for bad ones. The influence of people around you. We become like the people we spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with disciplined, ambitious, focused people, you'll rise to their level. If you spend your time with complainers, procrastinators, and excuse makers, you'll sink to theirs. The disciplined carefully curate their circle. Seek mentors who embody the habits you desire. Build friendships that challenge you, not ones that keep you comfortable. Join communities that normalize growth and persistence. Accountability grows stronger when you're not walking the journey alone. Share your progress publicly. Social pressure can fuel follow-through. When you know someone is watching, discipline feels less optional and more non-negotiable. What content are you consuming daily? What voices are you allowing to influence your thinking? What beliefs are you reinforcing with your self-talk? The disciplined cultivate a mental environment of positivity, resilience, and focus. They feed their minds with content that strengthens their character, not weakens it. A notebook on your pillow triggers journaling before bed. A gym bag in your car triggers working out after work. Instead of relying on memory, let your environment remind you of your commitments. Raise the standards of your space. Ask yourself, does my space reflect the person I want to become? High performers maintain spaces that reflect clarity, order, and intention. A clean kitchen reflects discipline in health. A tidy workspace reflects discipline in focus. A well-structured schedule reflects discipline in priority. Peer accountability. Share goals with a trusted partner. Public accountability. Commit publicly to create pressure to deliver. When accountability exists at multiple levels, quitting becomes far harder than pushing forward. Key takeaway of Chapter 9. Discipline doesn't exist in isolation. It's deeply shaped by your environment and your accountability system. Redesign your surroundings, curate your circle, and build accountability loops, and you'll discover that discipline no longer feels like a constant uphill battle. It becomes the natural outcome of your daily life. Chapter 10. Living with Unstoppable Discipline. We have arrived at the final chapter of this audiobook, but let me be very clear, this is not the end of your journey. It is the seeding of a new standard for how you live your life. Everything you've listened to so far has been building toward this moment. The moment where you step into the identity of a disciplined, unstoppable individual. Then, the true essence of discipline. Discipline is often misunderstood. Some think of it as punishment, deprivation, or restriction. But true discipline is freedom. Freedom from regret. freedom from wasted time, freedom from mediocrity. It is the tool that allows you to rise above impulses and short-term comfort, so you can align your actions with your deepest values. It is how you take control of your life instead of being controlled by your habits, fears, or environment. When you master discipline, you stop asking, "Will I feel like it?" Instead, you live by, "This is who I am. This is what I do." Small daily choices, repeated consistently, grow into extraordinary results. 5 minutes of focused reading each morning turns into a library of knowledge over a year. A short daily workout builds strength, energy, and confidence that lasts decades. One disciplined financial choice compounds into wealth and security for the future. Discipline is not built on rare bursts of greatness. It is built on steady daily commitment. That's why those who are disciplined appear unstoppable. They are riding the momentum of compounding choices. 3. Discipline as identity. The highest level of discipline is when it ceases to be a struggle and becomes your identity. You don't try to brush your teeth. You just do it because it's who you are. You don't try to breathe, you just do it because it's natural. The same must become true of discipline. When you stop telling yourself, "I'm trying to be disciplined," and start saying, "I am disciplined," everything changes. Identity is far stronger than motivation, because motivation comes and goes, but identity is permanent. Your discipline shapes the world around you. Never underestimate the ripple effect of your discipline. The way you live will inspire others, far beyond what you see. Your children will learn consistency by watching you. Your partner will be encouraged by your strength. Your colleagues will rise to match your standard. Your community will quietly take note and begin to shift. Discipline is contagious. It is not just personal power, it is social influence. When you live disciplined, you raise the standards of everyone around you. The battle is daily. Here's the truth. Discipline is never finished. It's not a box you check off once and then move on. It's a daily battle, a decision you face every morning. Will you rise with purpose or hit snooze? Will you stay focused or give in to distraction? Will you keep your promises to yourself or abandon them for excuses? The beauty is this: every single day gives you another chance. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about persistence. It's about falling but standing back up. It's about failing but refusing to quit. The final challenge. As you step beyond this audiobook, I want to leave you with a challenge. Pick one area of your life where discipline has been missing. Don't try to transform everything all at once. Just choose one. It could be your health, your finances, your learning, your relationships, or your focus. Set a clear standard. Remove the excuses. Build accountability. Take one small step forward today. If you conquer one area, momentum will spread into others. Discipline in one corner of your life becomes the foundation for mastery in all corners, where your goals are not just dreams but daily commitments. That's the life discipline offers. A body that feels strong because you honored it daily. A mind that's sharp because you trained it with focus. A heart that's proud because you kept your promises. A legacy that inspires because you lived consistently. This isn't fantasy, it is your reality if you choose it. The final word: live disciplined, live free. As this journey comes to a close, remember this: discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. Without it, even the best dreams stay locked away. With it, nothing can stop you. You don't need to wait until tomorrow. You don't need to wait for motivation. You don't need to wait for permission. You already have everything you need. Discipline is not something reserved for the gifted or the lucky. It is for anyone, anywhere, anytime, who makes the decision to live it, and that includes you. So make the choice. Commit. Follow through. Become unstoppable. If this audiobook resonated with you, I want to encourage you to stay connected to this journey of growth and mastery. Like this content if it pushed you forward. Subscribe so you never miss more life-changing audiobooks. Share it with someone who needs the reminder that discipline is the key to freedom. Because together, we can raise the standard of what it means to live disciplined, powerful, and free. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins today. Live disciplined, live unstoppable, live free.